You're listening to Coach Rita on the LOA Radio Network. Many say that the law of attraction doesn't always work. And Coach Rita would like to show you why it's not working. During this hour, you will gain great insight that will help you to make easy changes to become the great co-creator that you came here to be. Tune in and discover your missing link to the law of attraction with Coach Rita Hurry.
Hello everybody, welcome once again to another show of Your Missing Link to the Law of Attraction with your host, Coach Rita Hurry. No, you are not hearing things. I am back for another week. For the month of July, I will be doing 4 shows instead of 2. So, more insight and more interviews coming your way with me live from the UK. I've got some great guests lined up for you too over the month. Jeanette Mouth, who is a good vibe law of attraction coach, will be joining me to share her journey and inspire you all, along with author Chris Cade in the following show. And, well, if that's not enough, I will be interviewing our very own celebrity here on Law of Attraction Radio Network, Jules Johnson. Yes, I have asked Jules to step away from behind the interviewing mic and to come into the spotlight for my show next week. After all, this show is about inspiring people, and who better to inspire us with her journey than our very own Jules? Law of Attraction Radio Network wouldn't be here without her dedication and vision. So, Your Missing Link to the Law of Attraction promises to be an exciting month. So, who do I have on the show with me today? No one. Today, I am doing a special show, a 4-hour of Coach Rita Hurry's Corner. I've had lots of requests from listeners asking me to do a full show of Coach Rita Hurry's Corner, so I thought, why not kick off July with a special show? And what better time than the American Independence weekend? Also, I understand from one of my clients that it was Canada Day on the 1st of July. So wishing peace and blessings to everyone in the US and Canada from Coach Rita here in the UK. So the theme is independence. So why not allow Coach Rita Hurry to have the spotlight? Well, I guess I am my own spotlight in my spotlight or whatever. But have my own spotlight independently in celebration. So what is Coach Rita going to talk about for an hour? Well, I'm going to talk about 2 topics today, and these topics affect many of us in our law of attraction journey, and they are fear and relationships. Now, so for the first half of the show, I want to focus on fear. Now, I know this isn't a good idea when I'm saying to focus on fear, but it's the one block that we all unite in. If we give in to fear, we give up or don't take action and make excuses. The number one fear at the moment is not having enough money. The fear that money will run out before we die. What a huge fear. But what many of us are doing are using that fear to build other fears, which results in staying in a job that we're not happy, but it pays the bills, or staying with a partner because you can't afford to live independently. These then become a case of not rocking the boat at work in case you lose your job, or dealing with your partner's pressure on you so you have a roof over your head. And then what does this become? An endless life of complaining what isn't working, all stemming from one thing: fear. When I describe that whole scenario, it feels like being cooped up in a box, looking to breathe and finding no oxygen coming in. But this is how fear grips you and leaves you helpless and eventually dependent on another. So I ask you, where is the co-creator? Do you see how fear can take over every area of your life? It's almost like a virus that just spreads. And the sad thing is, that is exactly how viruses spread. From stress, which if you really break it down and explore, stems from a fear. Feeling pressured, not feeling free, and not allowing yourself to express how you feel and what you want. Why can't you? You most probably are afraid of the consequences. Fear is what we allow to take over our mind. It consumes every part of our body and can have a paralyzing effect. So what do you do? Now, it's understandable that some fear serves us. When you are in a life or death situation, it is understandable to have fear. But let's think about this for a moment. When you are in those situations where fear is normal, what exactly is happening? What's happening is you know exactly what is happening. It is staring you right in the face. But when we are experiencing fear which isn't good for us, we don't know exactly what is happening. And it is a mixture of excitement and anxiety together. It's not just fear, plain and simple. There's a lot of emotions in there. Can you see the difference? There is an unconscious sense that you know your fear is stopping you from taking exciting action. And the majority of the time, it's easier to give in than to overcome it. So moving on from this, let's look at law of attraction and the fact that we are all co-creators in our life. We say this, and sometimes very easily, but we don't necessarily live it day to day. If we truly believed it and embraced it, we wouldn't have fear, right? How can we be afraid if we are co-creating our lives the way we want it? How can we say we trust in source energy, but still hold on to fear? You cannot hold love and fear in the same hand. You cannot say you are a co-creator with source and be afraid at the same time. You either are one or the other. Now, I'm not saying it's that easy. It isn't. But if you are to look fear straight in the eye and live according to the principles of law of attraction, you have to remind yourself on a daily basis that you are a co-creator in your life and have a say as to how things turn out. Things, they just don't happen to you. You make them happen. You are the one in the driving seat, not fear. And it's almost like seeing yourself as a driver in the car. Source is sitting next to you in the passenger seat in the front, and fear is one of the passengers sitting at the back, and excitement or the new opportunity is the other passenger at the back. So you decide who you are allowing into that vehicle on your journey. And if you don't want fear to come along with you on this journey, then what do? I personally think you need to hit the brake and tell fear to vacate the car, or literally step out of the car and open the passenger car door where fear is sitting and tell it to leave. Once it does, shut the door, jump back into the driving seat and continue on your journey. Now, I bet that journey would be fun after that, right? I guess you could put on some music and relax and get excited by this new opportunity, knowing that Source has your back, and just say, yes, I'm going to do this, and enjoy the rest of your journey. Now, I know that that sounds so simple. And yes, I know sometimes it isn't, but honestly, effectively living the law of attraction lifestyle really is simple. We just overcomplicate things and reach for comfort. I was listening recently to a podcast by a law of attraction business coach, Dabney Alex, who mentioned that opportunities are always outside our comfort circle, which many of us know. But when we step out and grab that opportunity, our comfort circle becomes bigger, because what we've done, we've actually stretched it out even more. So we've brought in something that at first didn't feel comfortable, and we've kind of made room for it, so we've had to make the circle bigger. So from this scenario, I say, let's keep our comfort circle expanding. Let's remind ourselves of the fact that we really are creators, and we can only achieve what we allow ourselves to achieve. In a previous show, I mentioned that our manifestations are ready and waiting for us to be ready for them to manifest through us. That's really how simple it all really is. But we need to recognize this. We need to embrace the role of being a co-creator. We are in partnership with Source. There is no partner, I would say, that is better than that. I mean, Source energy. You've got a great partner there working with you every step of the way, always saying yes to what you want. We've got so much. And Source always has your back. So, with you and Source working together, what could go wrong? And all that does go wrong from time to time is that you lose sight of your intention for your life and your focus on what you want. But if you remind yourself on a daily basis that you are the creator, and if you can have the life you want, why would you focus on what you don't want most of the time? It makes no sense. But we tend to do that. We still tend to look at what we don't want. We still tend to kind of think about what could go wrong. And to me, that's taking the creating out of it and leaving ourselves in a vulnerable state. So if your fear is money, love, health, whatever it may be, know that all that this can be changed by you once you embrace your role as a co-creator in your own life. You've got to remember that everything is energy, including money, and it all mirrors what you feel about it. You are like a magnet, like attracting like. These are the simple teachings we are taught at the beginning, which we always need to come back to remind ourselves of who we really are. Now, when we think back to when we first came to the law of attraction, and we think back to many of us actually started off with reading The Secret, a lot of it was very simple. It was ask and you shall receive, almost. Placing your order and knowing that the order is with the universe. And it was exciting. It was fun. You tried out different things and you noticed the universe was actually bringing things to you, and you got excited, and you realized that you had this power. You had this power to create a life that was extraordinary, that you could actually go for what you want. That was such a huge adrenaline rush. And I'm sure if you ask anybody, and even yourself, if you think back to when you first discovered law of attraction, what kept you in it? What kept you going? The fact that it works, the fact that you could have what you want, the fact that you knew that you were a creator. And that is such a boost of confidence, such a boost of, wow, I really am powerful. But along the way, we start to lose that excitement. And even though things manifested, we then shifted our focus. We shifted our focus on the small things that weren't working. Then there were bigger things. Then they got bigger and bigger. So what happens? And then it got a little bit more difficult, and then suddenly we were asking for big things, and suddenly they weren't manifesting so easily, and oh, what happened there? And the excitement started to wear thin, and we started to think, oh, what am I doing wrong? Why is this not working? And can you actually see what actually happened from the adrenaline rush and the excitement to just a slight focus on the small things that weren't working, and how we started to maneuver slowly to the bigger things that weren't working? Because even when you start to focus on the tiniest thing that isn't working, you give it room to get bigger and bigger. It's almost like if you think about planting a seed in the earth and then you water it daily and then it grows and grows. That's what you begin to do. The smallest thing that you focus on, you start to look at the lack, that hold on, that's not working. And then you start to break it down. Why aren't you working? What's going on? What's wrong with this soil? Let's see, let's have a look. And then we start becoming almost like Sherlock Holmes, getting out a magnifying glass and thinking, oh, what could be going on here? And we dig and dig and dig, and the focus gets bigger and bigger and bigger. The fears get bigger and bigger and bigger. And then the huge fear, I'm not a creator as much as I thought I was. I'm actually struggling here. And then we lose that sense of being the creator that we are. And then the fears start creeping back, and then everyday life starts taking over. Then the anxieties come. And can you see how fear starts to just take over by one small step? And that small step of turning a good thing into a major negative thing, you can use to turn a major negative thing into a major positive thing by taking a small step in the other direction and starting to remind yourself you are a co-creator and Source does have your back. So as you start focusing on the small things heading the other way, come back to that. Start focusing. I am a co-creator. I am a co-creator. I am a co-creator with Source, the best team to be on. And you keep on with that on a daily basis. You're watering your new seed, your positive seed. You've put that in the earth and you're watering it on a daily basis. You're creating a new life. You're getting back into your driving seat. Source is with you in the passenger seat and you're going. That's the way to turn things around. So my tip to you is face your fear. Look at it straight in the eye and ask it, do you serve me right now? Are you valid? And deep down, you know the answer. And if the answer is no, and that you recognize it as a potential block, stop the car, open the passenger door where fear is, and tell it to go. And then get back in your driving seat and get on that road and continue your journey. No, I like that scenario. Well done, Coach Rita. I'm going to even use that for myself. Whenever there's a little bit of, shall I? I'll remind myself of that. And so I've given myself a little tip today. But remember that we all have to deal with fear. And like I've just said, you know, it's something that we face on a regular basis whenever we have to make a decision or for a new opportunity. There's always that shall I, shan't I mixture of fear and excitement and anxiety. So never think it's a lonely battle. Use it. Use it for something positive. Use it there to remind you, to remind yourself that you are a co-creator in this life and Source always has your back. And I'm going to say that one more time. Use fear to remind you, to remind yourself that you are a co-creator in this life. And Source always has your back. There is never a doubt in that. No matter what, Source definitely has your back. So I hope that these tips have helped you in some way to know that A, you're not alone. B, that fear is just a reminder that you have a decision to make and that you create your life. So which direction do you want your life to go? And sometimes staying still and being in where you are at the moment, maybe life is calling for you to stay where you are just for a little bit, but you will know. because it will feel right to you. It won't feel fearful. It won't feel anxious. It won't be the feeling of, well, that actually feels more exciting than here. Because wherever the excitement is, that's your inner self wanting more, wanting to experience life. We are here to experience life. So, as I have always said, it is about feeling good and it's about connecting to your inner self. And I know I've covered the topic in my last two previous shows about going inwards and about connecting to yourself, but it really is that kind of relationship. It really is about you connecting to yourself and knowing which direction you want to go. And the more you connect to yourself, the more you spend time with you and know where your inner being wants to go, the easier it is to make decisions, the easier it is to combat fear, the easier it is to remind yourself on a daily basis you are a co-creator working with Source to make the best life that you want to live. So if you haven't listened to those other shows, please do so. But as I've said, use fear to your own advantage. You are here to live life, to enjoy life, to not be consumed with anxiety, to not be consumed with the feeling of, I have to be dependent on another. I can't make a decision. We are all co-creators. Whether some of us know it or not, we are co-creators in this life. And we do have choices and we do have power to change our life and make it good. And if money is something that you are feeling anxious about, remember money is energy. Just like everything else, money is energy, and all you have to do is remind yourself you are a creator and you can create as much money. There is no limit to money. It is energy, and it is just about changing, planting that small seed, remember, that positive seed in the soil, and watering it every day, reminding yourself you are a creator and you can create more money. And trust me, there are many, many ways to create money than sticking to a job that you're not happy with. There are. It's maybe go within and ask for that guidance to be able to know what opportunities lie before you and seek that guidance. After the break, we will be continuing with Coach Rita Hurry's Corner, where I will be talking about relationships and the importance of releasing expectations. So don't go anywhere. Coach Rita will be right back after this break.
You're listening to the Law of Attraction Radio Network, heard by millions worldwide through 38 internet radio stations and in over 135 countries. Come join us on Facebook for your daily dose of inspiration and action that reveals the secret within you. You can find us at facebook.com/Law of Attraction Radio Network. That's facebook.com/Law of Attraction Radio Network. It's here, it's hot, and it's a must read. It's the science behind the Law of Attraction magazine. Every issue brings you great articles and in-depth how-tos from all your favorite Law of Attraction experts, authors, scientists, and medical professionals. Go to lawofattractionmagazine.net. That's lawofattractionmagazine.net.
Welcome back to the second half of your missing link to the Law of Attraction, and the second half of Coach Rita Hurry's Corner. Yes, that's right, today is a whole show of my corner, and if you missed the first half, where have you been? Well, in the first half of the show, we spoke about fear and how it can affect us and block us in a huge way. And I shared some tips on how best to deal with fear and the importance of remembering you are the co-creator of your life. So if you missed that, not to worry. That's the beauty of LOA Radio Network. You just need to go to my show page on the LOA Radio Network website and you can access my show from there. So the website is www.loaradionetwork.com/coach hyphen Rita. Anyway, back to the second half of Coach Rita Hurry's Corner. And in this part, I would like to talk about relationships. Now, although this topic is geared more towards those currently in a relationship, I still think that those who are single would benefit from this also, as you could use it as a guide, as really many aspects of it can be used for all relationships we have in life, not just intimate ones. It's how we deal with people in general and connect to each other. Now, today I'm going to focus on expectations. We all have expectations. Expectations from work, family, partners, life. I mean, even ourselves. And it's great to expect good things. After all, expecting your manifestations creates the feeling of excitement, which is a good feeling. And you know what I say about good feelings and feeling good. It always leads to more things to feel good about. The universe always blesses us with more and more and more because we're resonating good vibrations. So the expectation that I'm talking about today is the expectation we place on another. And for today's show, I'm specifically talking about our partners. And this is where it can get a little stressful and can lead to disharmony in a relationship. When we find that special someone whom we want to spend our life with, our first intention is to feel love. To love and to be loved back. To know you have someone there to talk to who will support you, to share the good times and the bad times with, right? That is great, and many times at the beginning it is like that. But after the initial stages of getting to know each other and enjoying each other, many couples fall into the responsibility aspect. And this is the phase where we begin to give our partner their duties of how they are responsible for your heart. And if they don't do what the job description tells them they should be doing, you will be watching. And you will either go two ways: back off and become resentful, or complain constantly. Both very negative responses. When this happens, we break away from being the lover to becoming the watcher. Watching everything they do or say, and if we feel upset or let down, we blame them. Do many of you recognize this feeling? Yes, I mean we all do it because things of the heart can be very difficult to deal with as we are dealing with emotions, and emotions, they're never black and white. And especially when you're dealing with love, you feel almost quite vulnerable when you tell someone that you love them, because you feel like you're almost giving a huge part of yourself, and it does make many of us feel quite vulnerable that they've allowed themselves to share that with someone else. But the less responsibility we place on another to make us happy, the easier it is to deal with this. This responsibility, it's an expectation, and unfortunately not everyone can live up to your expectations. Why should they? That's not their purpose. That's your purpose, your expectation. The bottom line is no one is responsible for you. No one is responsible for me. I'm the only one responsible to make myself happy. And the same applies to you. But that also doesn't mean that you should be on your own. You can be responsible for your own happiness and have a wonderful, committed, loving relationship with your partner. If you think back to the dating period, which I like to call the euphoria period, where everything's like really great and you're both euphoric for each other, you enjoyed each other's company. It was exciting to get to know your partner for who they were and to have them get to know you for who you are. You both brought your own individuality into the relationship, which is a very attractive quality. Now, I'm sure if you ask anybody what makes someone attractive, having confidence in themselves, being able to just be themselves and not hold back, that's a very attractive quality, and that comes from really owning your own individuality. And at this period, or during, as I say, the euphoric stage, the only expectation you had was of love. This is what relationships should be based on. The enjoyment of each other, loving who you are and who your partner is, with no job description forced down their throats. There are many people who go out on dates and put their dates through an interview. And these dates never go anywhere. Why? Because your partner is not here to fulfill your obligation and criteria. They are only here to fulfill their purpose and to enjoy being with you in the process. Now, to some, this might sound really harsh, but honestly, it's not meant to be. I'd rather be enjoyed and make my partner feel loved and smile when we are together than dreading the 20 questions I have lined up for him. So, looking at that, and I know it may be a little bit of an eye-opener to many, let's look at it from a law of attraction point of view and bring law of attraction into the whole equation. Now, as I mentioned in part 1 of today's show, we are all co-creators. So we want to create a life of joy and a life where we are happy. Love and our relationships play a huge part of this in our life. If we are not happy in our relationship, it can have a huge effect on how we feel. So the important points to remind ourselves is this. Number 1, feeling good. It is so much harder to feel good when you are basing that feeling on another's actions. And what I mean is when we feel hurt by another, especially a loved one, it is very hard to get over, and it can have a huge impact on the other areas of our life. But we are co-creators. And if we don't aim to start feeling good on the inside, we can never change what is happening on the outside. I've said in previous shows that we have to feel the good feelings as if they have already happened for us to vibrate the right energy to attract more of feeling good. And I've also mentioned it earlier. So in order to get that feeling good back, if you are feeling upset, it might mean taking your focus off the person whom we feel has upset us and thinking about something else that makes us smile. Even if it's a memory, a goal that we're looking to achieve, or planning a vacation, whatever it is, even, you saw a great movie last night and it made you smile, thinking about that, whatever it is that makes you feel good, focus on it. Number 2, take back your power. And I am not talking about your power over your partner. I am talking about your power over yourself. You have come here to experience life. You co-create your life. You are not a victim of another. They do not hold your heart. You have your heart always and are responsible for it. It never leaves you. It never goes to another and they have it. Another cannot stamp on it or crush it. Know this. Know that we are here to give love and share love. But the true love is within you and always is. You never become a weaker person if someone hurts you. You had an experience and you let it go and keep moving forward. It can never break you. You are a co-creator, creating love at every moment, with or without that special someone. And like I said earlier about when you're at that vulnerable stage of telling someone you love them, that's a feeling that you have about the other person. You are not literally going inside and pulling out your heart and giving it to them for them to place inside them. That's not what you're doing. You're sharing your feeling. Just like when you're at a concert and of your favorite band, and that's that one song that really gets everyone going, and that's a feeling that's been created by so many people, and you're sharing that feeling amongst you. That's what you're doing when you're telling someone I love you. You're sharing the feeling that you have with them, and not, even though yes, we are giving our heart because it's a heartfelt love, but so is when you love a song, or when you love your child or your parents or your siblings. That love, it's a feeling. You're not literally giving these people pieces of your heart. And if anything happens, if either you lose someone or someone walks away or someone literally, as they say, breaks your heart, they're not actually breaking your heart. You still have your heart. You can still feel love for anything else. So even though you may feel vulnerable because you've said I love you, you still have the power over your heart. Your heart is still beating. You can still feel love because it's the feeling you've shared with them. And you can still be that strong creator because it can never ever break you. Number 3, let go of blaming others. We are all spiritual beings, pure energy, experiencing life. So bless the relationship you are in and enjoy it for what it is. If it's not as fun as it used to be, you create the fun. Focus on what is good about it and feel good that you are experiencing love. Enjoy the qualities you both bring to the table. Embrace it. If there is something your partner has done that has upset you, talk about it. Let them know how you felt and hear what they have to say. The longer you hold on to blame, the weaker you become in manifesting the life you want, and you weaken yourself as a co-creator because you are saying that they are creating your happiness or your sadness, and you then become fixated and focused on what's not working. So it's important just to let it go. Number 5, seek guidance from within. Now, if you've been listening to my show regularly, you will have heard me talk about the importance of going within to build that true connection to your inner self. And this is so important as it creates trust and guidance from within. So you are able to love without expectations and also know when it's time to walk away, but not feel like you have lost anything. When you go into a relationship with pure inner strength and clarity of who you are and love yourself unconditionally, you only want to give and share love with your partner. You want to enjoy the experience of what is and truly understand being a spiritual being, a co-creator. And finally, stop watching. This is number 5. Stop watching. We are not here to watch others or judge what he or she is doing. Like when we say, we normally say, oh, this person's looking at me, they're judging me and all that. You're not meant to do it in a relationship scenario either. You are not the teacher and your partner the school child. You are equals. What you focus on persists. So if you're focusing on what your partner is doing wrong or waiting for their next wrong move, you will find it. Why? Well, as you focus on it, so you create it. So stop waiting and expecting things to go wrong. How is that valuing yourself? If you are expecting someone to hurt you, then you can't really think much of yourself, can you? So stop. Go within, seek guidance, and your intuition will guide you always to the truth without hurting yourself in the process. Relationships are about loving each other, enjoying each other, supporting each other, but not carrying each other. No one has to do something because you expect them to. Now, society tells us different. Society tells us this is what a relationship should be like, and many of us use this model to live by. But all relationships are different, just as we are all different as individuals. All relationships are unique. So don't believe that if your relationship isn't like what it's like in the movies, then it's not right. And also, if your friend's relationship or sibling's relationship is going this way and your relationship is going that way, it doesn't mean that, oh, what's wrong with my relationship? And all too often, especially when it comes to holidays, Valentine's Day, birthdays, Christmas, New Year's Eve, all those special moments when, oh, um, you're not seeing your partner on Valentine's Day, or um, New Year's Eve, you're both doing separate things. Oh, that's a bit strange. Those kind of things shouldn't worry you if you are happy in your relationship and you know that what you have with your partner is genuine and makes you feel good and you love them and they love you. That shouldn't matter, because it's not about what anyone else thinks. It's not about, oh, this day should be spent with your partner. That day should be spent with your partner. You should be doing this. Why hasn't your partner done this? And none of that matters, because you are not living to others' expectations. Neither is your partner living to your expectations, but that it just flows naturally. That's what love does. Love just comes naturally. It's something that's within you. It's who you are. It's another extension. It's a feeling. So don't let those comparisons to what society says a relationship should be like, or you should be married by this time, or, whatever, any expectations, whatever standards people place, put them to one side. You are unique. Your partner is unique. Your relationship is unique. So embrace what you have and listen to your inner guidance. That's your truth. Now, if what I have mentioned resonates with you and you really feel that you want to work on this, as you want to create a relationship that is right for you, you're in luck. I have just launched my online school for relationships, and the first program from the school was launched this week. The Love Solution program is a 90-day intensive program which looks at eliminating codependency to create freedom, whilst igniting passion to manifest balance, joy, and unity. Now, in this program, I will be working with couples or individuals who are currently in a relationship, and that includes those that are in a long distance relationship, because there's a lot of stigma of people in long distance relationship, and it's like, oh, it will never work, and the distance is a factor. Who, are they going to be in contact with you? All that, you know, if you're a couple and you're in a long distance relationship, I also cater this program for you as well. There is no reason why a long distance relationship can't work. This program includes 12 one-to-one sessions with myself, Genie email support, and monthly audio lessons emailed directly to you. I'm also throwing in, for those who register within the month of July, an extra month of Genie email support and 1 30-minute coaching session upon completion of the program, completely free of charge. So if you feel that you would like to implement anything I have mentioned in today's show into your relationship, or just feel that you want to ignite the law of attraction principles and passion into your relationship as a whole, and are interested in this program, please visit the website, which is www.theschoolofrelationships.com, and I'll repeat that. It's www.theschoolofrelationships.com for more details of the program, where it's broken down, and how to book onto the program, and also gain those free bonuses upon completion of your 90 days. Alternatively, if you want one-to-one support on any of the topics I've discussed today, fear or relationships, please email me on info@coachrita.co.uk, and we can discuss what one-to-one packages would be right for you. Now remember, I do coach globally via Skype, so distance is not a problem, and the program is open to everyone globally. Well, it looks like I've actually run out of time. I didn't realise I could talk so much. There you go. It shows that I'm enjoying what I'm talking about, because I'm passionate about the law of attraction. I just love it. So I just would like to say thank you for taking the time out to listen to an hour's worth of Coach Rita Hurry's Corner. Today was a special show, and it's been great sharing some insight into fear and relationships, because I know these are two huge topics that do affect many of us. So if you enjoyed the show and you would like me to do this again and actually spend an hour focusing on two different topics, please drop me an email. Let me know what you thought of the show, and let me know, are there any topics that you'd like me to cover, or do you have a particular question? Email me at info@coachrita.co.uk, and I'll say it one more time, info@coachrita.co.uk. Well, it's been fun. I have enjoyed spending the hour with you. I think I'm going to drink plenty of water now and just sort of hydrate myself. But don't forget, I will be back next week, because I will be back interviewing our very own Jules. So I want you to take care, and remember, you are not a bystander watching life pass you by. You are a creator. You're co-creating with the universe. So create the life you want, create the relationship you want, create the opportunities you want, and go out there and enjoy the journey. So until next week, take care everyone. Bye.
Thank you for tuning in. We'll be back next week with another great show of your missing link to the law of attraction. For more information, go to coachrita.co.uk. That's coachrita.co.uk.